Hey guys, it's Brian with the Midnight Mechanic, and today we're going to show you how to replace the rear shocks in your second gen Ford Ranger. Now this is our 1999 Ford Ranger. I know it has a newer front end on it, but it's a 99. All of them are the same. It's really easy to do on the rear. It's just two studs that you have to take the nuts off, but you got to make sure you do it safely. Now most of you guys don't have a lift, but the first thing you need to do is get the thing in the air. You need to get it up enough that you can support the rear axle and the body to keep that shock from moving around too much. Now with it up in the air, you can kind of move it around to adjust it to get it to line up correctly. Now with ours right here, I have this little support that I'm going to use to keep the axle supported, and I can use it to adjust a little bit to get that shock on. So right here is our shock on the passenger side. Over here on the driver's side, it's the same thing, just kind of in the opposite direction. The way it works is right here, you have these little studs. Now there are two of those on either shock, one that's built into the frame. This is actually a bolt that goes straight through it. On the top, there's a stud that's attached to the frame, and you just need to take the nut off of it. It's the exact same thing over here on the driver's side. So here are those bolts. It is a 15 millimeter head on the bolt and an 18 millimeter nut. The other one is right up there. On the driver's side, it's the same thing, except for this guy is kind of hid up above the spare tire. You can still get to it, it's just a little bit tighter. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get an 18 millimeter breaker bar, and I'm going to go ahead and loosen those up with the breaker bar because they do get rusted being underneath the truck here. Here is my support I'm using. You can use a jack, you can use a jack stand. I'm using this little screw jack. So the one thing you need to do before you get started is go ahead and soak down those nuts with some penetrating oil, whether it's WD-40 or PB Blaster. I prefer PB Blaster. It works really, really well. We started soaking these last night, so they should come off really easily. I'm going to go ahead and remove the bottom one first. Be careful when you do this that it doesn't fall off of your lift or your jack stands or whatever you're using. Now with it off, pull it out of the way, and then we can go remove that top one. Now with it off at the bottom and loose on the top, you can just grab it and wiggle it off. You can also use a little pry bar if you want to. Now throw it away. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and install the rear shocks on this. We're going to use these from Torch Off-Road. Now these are extended shocks, which is why we're replacing these. The ones on this truck ride terrible because the truck has a 3-inch lift on it. So we're going to go ahead and install all 4 extended shocks. Now if you want to know how to do the front, there'll be a video for that as well. So we're going to go ahead and install this first. The way it works is this part goes on top. So this little accordion part, this goes on top. You can tell that because the lettering, you want that correctly like you can read it. So we're going to go ahead and install this. Install it starting at the top. So what I'm going to do is put the top on and put the nut on there, but not totally tighten it down so I can rotate it a little bit easier. Once I get that on, I'll move down to the bottom. Now, one of the things you want to do is go ahead and put just a little bit of grease on this because you want to keep it from squeaking too much. Also prevents some rust and makes it go on a little bit easier, like I just did. So it comes with this little collar that goes inside here so it keeps it from rattling around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of grease right there and slide it in. That way it stays greased up and you won't really have to worry about anything rattling around and squeaking. So I'm actually going to take a rubber mallet and I'm going to tap in that little sleeve there. All right, so now that this is on and you make sure you have it inside the sway bar right there, what I need to do is align this with this bracket here on the bottom. Now it has this strap to keep it squished together a little bit. So what I normally do is I'll cut that strap, and as it's going down, I try to stick it in that hole right there. Then I'm gonna snip this off, and as it's going down, get it in that spot. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on these bushings here to keep them from squeaking. Now, if you end up with a situation like this, where the thing bends in too much, you can bonk it a little bit to widen it up. Then you can push these up and get it in. It's not as fun, and it takes a little bit extra effort, but you can get it in still. Kind of like that. Now, kind of tap it in. You don't want to hit it too hard because you don't want it to mar the threads up. But now with it in like that, go ahead, wipe off any extra grease because you want this thing to be tight. Put your bolt on. Now you can tighten them up and they'll be on. Remove your trash. And make sure it's tight. Now we're going to move on to the driver's side. Don't forget to relocate your jack stand before you take anything off. Now for this top one, you're going to need to use a shorter socket because the charcoal canister right there is in the way. You do not want to break that fitting, so I'm going to use a short one here. Now be very careful removing this because, like I said, this is right here. So be very careful and easy with it. You do not want to hit that fitting. Now I tapped it, but I didn't hit it hard. All right, now I'll move over to this side and install it the same way I did the passenger side. A little grease on it. Be very careful, again, around that. Put your grease on the bushings, bonk it out just a little bit. So it's really easy. It's just 4 bolts. You just got to be a little bit careful that you don't break that fitting right there at the charcoal canister. If you do, you're going to make a whole lot more work for yourself. Soak it down in some PB Blaster and you'll be ready to go. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to learn about, post down below in the comments. Check our social media. The links are in the description. If you want new MidMech merch, check out themidnightmech.com and support cancer research. If you watch the end of this video, there'll be a link to show you how you can help. See you guys next time.